everybody. Welcome to Mount Olive High School. John Kovach here at Matt's side with Shane Dunn. We've got a full day of wrestling coming to you on GardenStateHSWrestling.com. The Mount Olive Quads. We will be bringing you one mat. We're going to start off with High Point versus Southern. Don Brower is going to be bringing you the action from the other mat, where it's going to be Mount Olive and West Essex to start out. So right now we're at 106 pounds, Southern versus High Point. And a quick 3 points for Southerns. Collins for
make it another 3-point takedown, 6-1 for Collins. Back up, 6-2. Could be looking for another 3 points here. They go off the mat and they'll be neutral. Back to the action, 1 minute and 6 seconds to go in the first here.
Cade Collins versus Thomas Joust. Cade Collins for Southern. Collins on the back now with another 3 points and a 13-2 lead over Joust. With 31 seconds left in the first period.
Joust doing a good job not letting him pin him so far in the period, but very susceptible to the takedown so far. And a great roll there from Collins. But Joust builds his base back up. Great job on defense from him there.
2 more points for Collins. He's up 15-2. He's 2 points from a tech fall with just 2 seconds to go. That's going to end the first period, 15-2. Cade Collins up for Southern against High Point. Today's broadcast presented by Champion Athletes, Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, Forum Coffee, and the Harrington Companies. Starting the second period here, Cade Collins, freshman who just finished 8th at the Powerade Invitational, in black for Southern. Thomas Joust of High Point in the red. Joust tries to drive and switch things. And a 1-point escape for Collins. 16-2 now the margin. He is 1 point away from ending this, Shane, with a tech fall.
We are in tech territory for Joust. This could be the end right here. Shoots a single and gets it. It'll be a 19-2 finish and tech fall win for Collins.
And 5 team points for Southern.
And this next match is sponsored by the Harrington Companies. Harrington Recycling Company Incorporated, Harrington Inc. & Sons, and Hoffman Supply Home and Garden Center. Don't forget about our local sponsors. We would like to thank Iron Horse Wrestling, SSD Glass, Frank's Pizza, Wantage, Airport Diner, Estable Wrestling Club, 19th Hole, Ginza Sushi, Pro Automotive, and Market Tavern for providing financial support for this season to allow GardenStateHSWrestling.com's broadcast of today's match.
Anthony Mason for Southern, Philip Spagnola here at 112 for High Point.
Quick pin attempt here. Great cradle.
Mason in the black has Spagnola in a predicament right now, and a pin. 46 seconds in for Mason, and now an 11-0 lead for Southern. Local sponsors today are Iron Horse Wrestling, SSD Glass, Frank's Pizza Wantage, Airport Diner, Estabilt Wrestling Club, 19th Hole, Ginza Sushi, Pro Automotive, and the Market Tavern. We're at 120 now.
And a great job on defense there to avoid the takedown from Southern's wrestle. We will have the names for you in just a moment. Now a hand fight in the middle of the mat. Southern's 120-pounder was looking for the wrist there, could not get it. Great circle there.
Carter Druid in the red for High Point. Henry Zimmerman in the black and gold of Southern. Southern with an 11-0 lead here on GardenStateHSWrestling.com. This is the first of 3 matches that we'll bring you from this match. We're bringing you 6 matches all day. Stoppage for out of bounds.
46 seconds now in the first.
No score so far. And Shane, we're looking at a Southern team that's been #1 in New Jersey, back-to-back championships, just a machine.
And they look like it throughout this first dual meet that we're seeing.
Now that said, they're 3-2 in dual meets for 2024-25, having lost 36-30 to Pennsauken and 48-36 to PCIT. They beat North Hunterdon 55-18, beat Brick 52-16, beat Collingswood 66-10. High Point, meanwhile, 4-0 in duels. As a late score by Druin, late takedown makes it 3-0 at the end of the first. High Point has a 47-18 victory over Middletown South, a 54-8 victory over Long Branch, 54-13 victory over Sparta. You can actually watch that at GardenStateHSWrestling.com, and a 56-12 victory over Morris Hills.
Very athletic scramble here from Druin. They go off the mat. So far, Zimmerman has been the aggressor for this match, walking Druin down for a lot of it. Now Druin kind of showing himself in the middle here, trying to show his stature. Now, great job here by Druin, or Zimmerman rather. .108 to go in the second.
4-1 the score. Carter Druin of High Point with the lead over Southern's Henry Zimmerman. This is a Southern team that has 6, at least, wrestlers with pretty big time commitments. Bucknell, Army.
Now, this is a decorated team top to bottom, and we're seeing it against High Point so far. This is the first match we've even seen a Southern wrestler get in any type of troubles in the matchup so far. Stalemate called. They'll be neutral.
Stoppage for the stalemate. .20 seconds to go in the second period. Carter Druin with the 4-1 lead for High Point over Henry Zimmerman. High Point trails 11-0 on the scoreboard. And Druin tries to shoot to single leg. Now he's trying to get behind, but and gets 3 more for the takedown. Does Druin. 7-1. Druin with the lead at 120 pounds. John Kovach, Shane Dunn with you. GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Southern versus High Point. The first of 3 will bring you on our camera. The first of 6 will bring you over 2 streams from the Mount Olive quad match. Simultaneously to our left, Mount Olive is wrestling West Essex. Don Brower on that call. We're going to stay with you all day and bring you all of the matches. You can check our YouTube channel. You can check GardenStateHSWrestling.com and bounce back and forth from stream to stream. You can watch it later on. Right now, what we're watching is Carter Druin of High Point with a 7-1 lead over Henry Zimmerman of Southern. Southern with a 11-0 lead over High Point. Interesting position for Druin now, and I don't know up 7-1 that I would get caught like that. Reversal for Zimmerman.
Zimmerman might have him pinned here.
I think he does. And from a 7-1 deficit, Henry Zimmerman of Southern turns it around and records the pin. 107 into the third period, and a 17-0 lead now for Southern.
Follow us on social media, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, X, GardenStateHSW, and Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. GardenStateHSWrestling.com, your teams, your counties, your site. Here we go with the 126-pound bout. We'll have the names for you in just a moment. This is Joust for High Point and Rao for Southern.
Bentley Joust. We had Thomas Joust open the action at 106. Joust with the early 3, and he's on top. He's trying to get a turn on Rao, but then switch sides.
A 17-0 lead has grown for Southern. This would be huge for High Point 4 matches in.
I really think they're almost, and that's 2 more for Colton Joust. I really think High Point's almost in a we have to stop the bleeding here situation.
Couldn't agree more. Great positioning on top by Joust of High Point.
Well, I think what's impressive is High Point is a dominant team from the northern reaches of the state. I mean, this is, potential postseason match that we're bringing you here.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're going to see a lot of these kids in Atlantic City as well from all 4 teams here today.
Rao's shoulders exposed. He's turning to his side. Colton Joust going for the pin. They roll out of bounds. You get a stoppage. 4 back points for Colton Joust. And his lead up to 9-0 with 7 seconds to go in the first period here at 126 pounds. Six 0 in favor of Colton Joust of High Point.
Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, Forum Coffee, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
Bentley Rao of Southern chasing 9 points now here at 126 pounds. Colton Joust, another 3, 12-0. We're getting into tech fall, actual fall position here as Colton Joust finishes the match 32 seconds into the second period. High Point on the board, 17-6, the lead.
The Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Demolition and Recycling, W.J. Harrington, Inc. and Sons, Hoffman Supply Home and Garden Center. Now 132 pounds, 17-6 lead for Southern over High Point in our first meet of the day.
Sean Licata for High Point in the red here at 132 pounds. Sam Perry of Southern in the black with gold. Southern with a 17-6 lead. We're at 132 pounds here on GardenStateHSWrestling.com, coming to you live from Mount Olive High School. Good ground struggle here between Licata and Perry, Shade.
Great back and forth so far. No points on the board yet in the first 40 seconds of this match, but very back and forth. Might be looking at the first points here. Licata gets back up. 3 points there for Perry.
Perry with the takedown. Coming up on a minute left in the first period. We'll get a stoppage for out of bounds.
That is quite the shoulder wrap for Perry of Southern.
Yeah, that's
heavy duty.
That is heavy. That is not going. Hopefully, it's not going anywhere for him.
That's one of the best I've seen, though. And wow, a great mat return attempt there from Perry.
Perry has control of the back. He's got the half from the left side. He's got wrist control on the right. He has all his weight on Licata's back, but he rolled through too far, and that's 2-point reversal now for Licata, who cuts that lead to 3-2. Licata with the mat return now. See if he gets any points out of this. He's got left wrist control. $17 seconds, excuse me. We're working, if I get confused here, there's 2 different scoreboards, 2 different matches, 2 different clocks. There's a lot going on here this morning. 5 seconds left in our match. 3-2, the lead for Sam Perry of Southern over Sean Licata.
Great first period.
Of High Point. Local sponsors today are Iron Horse Wrestling, SSD Glass, Frank's Pizza, Wantage, Airport Diner, Estabilt Wrestling Club, 19th Hole, Ginza Sushi, Pro Automotive, and Market Tavern. We thank them for their support. Second period at 132 pounds. Sam Perry of Southern, a 3-2 lead over Sean Licata of High Point. Licata in the red, Perry in the black and gold. Perry on the back, trying to turn Licata. Southern with a 17-6 team lead. So what you essentially have, Shade, are 3 duels for everybody today. Everybody's going to wrestle everybody. 2 mats. Don Brower on the call from the other mat. 2 simultaneous streams. You can switch back and forth. You can go to our YouTube channel or GardenStateHSWrestling.com and watch after the fact. And there's a lot of wrestling to be seen here. Perry now on top. 2 for the reversal, though, as Licata turns it and takes a 4-3 lead with 35 seconds left in the second period.
Went off camera there for a second, but a great job from Licata.
Licata has a half Nelson from the left-hand side. Has the right wrist, but they're dangerously close to being out of bounds.
And they are out of bounds.
Stoppage with 11 seconds to go in this second period at 132 pounds.
Licata will start on top. Great base being built up from Perry, but broken down by Licata with 3 seconds left in the second. We'll be heading to the third. 4-3 lead for Licata over Perry.
No additional scoring there as we wrapped up the second period.
We'll start in the same position that we were just in at the end of the second.
Licata wrenches him down. Perry sits, rolls back. He's trying for the sitting switch. Good mat wrestling there by the pair. Licata of High Point, Perry of Southern. Southern in the black, High Point in the red. Perry tries to turn, but he's unable to. And now Licata is trying to get the shoulders, but he lost the grip. And that's a reversal for Perry of Southern. And he takes a 5-4 lead with 1:23 left in the third period.
Wow, a great reaction there from Licata. Gets the reversal, takes the lead back now 6-5.
What's impressed me about Licata is every time Perry's been able to score points, Licata is able to reverse it and get right back on top. Really good counters by Licata this morning.
49 seconds left to go. Licata with a thin 6-5 lead. A lot of lead changes in this wrestling match. This has been a ferocious one.
34 seconds to go. Licata goes for side control. We've got a stoppage. And I think that shoulder you commented on, and the he's grabbing a finger. They're calling for a wrap. Trainer going out onto the. Do you own a local business? Become a sponsor. Sponsorship opportunities for team pages and live stream coverage are available. You can become a sponsor by going to GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Click on the Your Logo Here button. Or you could email admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com.
Follow us on social media. On Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. On X, GardenStateHSW. And on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Your teams, your counties, your site.
Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, Forum Coffee, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. Live action about to resume here at 132 pounds, where Sean Licata of High Point has a 6-5 lead over Sam Perry of Southern. 29 seconds to go. Perry injured his fingers. He was treated by the trainer.
Trying to get a half here is Licata. 13 seconds now to go.
I think he's going to run out of time here. We're down to 5. I don't think we're going to see. I think this is going to be a 1-point decision, and it is for Sean Licata of High Point. 6-5 to final, and that cuts Southern's lead to 17-9 as we move on to 138 pounds.
The Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Inc., Harrington, Inc. & Sons, and Hoffman Supply Home and Garden Center. Here we are at the 138-pound bout. This is Manera for Southern. Bryce Manera. He's up 3-0 early. And this is Tadona from High Point. Tadona doing a good job of not letting up the wrist. Team Manera going for it.
Manera of Southern in the black. Tadona of High Point in the red.
Nice roll there.
And Manera, along with Anthony Mason, committed to wrestle at Bucknell University. Power for a long time. That's a big, small school in NCAA wrestling.
No, and that's actually where the co-commentator with Donald Brower on Mat 1, Sean Walker, wrestles at Bucknell. So 2 of his future teammates are going to be on the mat today. He's actually going to get to commentate for them, which is pretty wild.
And it's future Bison, Bryce Manera, with control. Tried to wrench the shoulders. 15 seconds left in the first period at 138 pounds. Manera trying to make something happen late. We're inside the final 5 seconds. 3-0 will be the score in favor of Manera at the end of the first period. As I said, Manera and Anthony Mason committed to Bucknell. Mitch Bavona to Millersville. Brad Birch to the College of New Jersey. Colin French to Ryder. Hayden Hoxbrasser to Army. I mean,
that Army one keeps catching my ear.
It's a college program. We've got an injury timeout.
Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company Incorporated, W.J. Harrington, Inc. & Sons, Hoffman Supply Home and Garden Center.
Follow us on social media, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, your teams, your counties, your site. We are at GardenStateHSWrestling.com on Facebook, at GardenStateHSW on X, and at GardenStateHSWrestling on Instagram. Resuming the action after a blood timeout at 138 pounds. We are just starting the second period here. Bryce Manera with a 3-0 lead over Michael Tadona of High Point. High Point in the red, Southern in the black and gold. And it's Manera aggressively going after the single leg, gets the left leg, gets the 3-point takedown right off the neutral start. And now he's got Tadona in trouble.
Wow, what a pin attempt here from Manera.
Trying to turn him. Tadona turning back into Manera's body. Manera just driving his legs forward, trying to brute force this. They're close to the boundary, but I think they've got enough room to stay in. 4 back points there for Manera. And his lead is up to 10-1.
A unique approach there by Manera after he gets him down. Just kind of a shoving match after that and uses their momentum kind of against them to try and get the pin both times there. Didn't work in the end, though. 59 seconds left in the second period. A 10-2 lead, Manera over Tadona.
Manera with another takedown.
Now 13-2, 11-point lead. They nearly go off the mat again.
Manera just keeps coming after you. He keeps the leg drive going. He engages. He comes in very aggressively with the hands and then just keeps driving forward. As soon as he grabs, that's another 3 takedown. 16-3 the lead now for Manera.
His approach is very unique. Instead of just letting them up, he almost pushes them off the mat, and that is working wonders for him so far. It's going to be 19-4, and that's a tech fall for Manera.
With 26 seconds left in the second, a 5-point tech fall stretches the Southern lead over High Point to 22-9.
Some words after with the referee we could see there. 22-9 lead has grown for Southern now. And that'll be a forfeit win at 145 pounds. Should make it 28-9.
Will in fact do so. 152 pounds up next.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, X, GardenStateHSW, and Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Your teams, your counties, your site. Here we go, 152 pounds. Today's broadcast presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, Forum Coffee, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. In the first 20 seconds of this bout, no points yet. This is Conklin of High Point versus Sorry of Southern.
Here we have Jesse Hulbig for High Point and Attila Vigilante at 152 pounds.
Southern Vigilante for High Point, Hulbig.
3-point lead off the takedown for Attila Vigilante, but he's banged up a little bit. Little bit of a stoppage here. 1 minute and 6 seconds in. That's a scraped knee. They're going to wrap that up.
The Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Inc., Harrington, Hoffman Supply Home, and Garden Center.
Our local sponsors today include Iron Horse Wrestling, SSD Glass, Frank's Pizza Wantage, Airport Diner, Estabilt Wrestling Club, 19th Hole, Ginza Sushi, Pro Automotive, and Market Tavern. We thank them for providing financial support this season to allow GardenStateHSWrestling.com's broadcast of today's match. We're coming to you from Mount Olive High School.
Do you own a local business? Become a sponsor. Sponsorship opportunities available for team page and live stream coverage. How do I become a sponsor? Learn more. Look for the Your Logo Here button on your team's page or email admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com.
We'll get back to you within 24 hours and get you set up as quickly as possible for the matches. We're bringing you a lot of wrestling. About to resume here, it's Vigilante in the black on top, driving forward, trying to twist Hulbig of High Point in the red. Vigilante with the 3-0 lead, 40 seconds left in the first period.
Brilliant mat return there by Vigilante.
Which is the greatest wrestling name I've ever. Attila Vigilante is the greatest wrestling name I've heard.
I do like Vigilante as a last name. That's pretty.
1 point escape there for Hulbig.
Another shot attempt here from Vigilante.
Has the leg. He doesn't have the base. Now he's to his feet, trying to spin around the back. No points. 7 seconds to go in the first period. And they're out of bounds with 2.5 seconds left in the first period at 152 pounds. 28-9, Southern with the lead over High Point. Southern in the black, High Point the red.
That brings the end of the first 3-1 lead for Vigilante over Heelbig.
Vigilante concedes the neutral to start the second period. And immediately shoots a double leg. Driving forward is Vigilante, pulls Yulbig in. So close to being out of bounds here. And there it is, there's the stoppage. 31 seconds into the period.
3-2 lead now for Vigilante over Heelbig with the reversal there.
And immediately an aggressive shot for the single leg by Vigilante. Yulbig leans over the top, trying to counter that, trying to get his weight on Vigilante's back. Actually, if he could get arm control, he could turn him, but he was unable to do so. No points given on that exchange. Stalling warning against High Point, and Vigilante tries to shoot another takedown. They're close to out of bounds. 3-point takedown there for Vigilante. 6-2 his lead, 45 seconds left in the second period at 152 pounds. Trying to get to turn is Southern's Vigilante.
4 minutes, 43 seconds. Time of ball.
He is on the inside now and really needs to try to pull Yulbig back in. Already a stalling caution facing Yulbig.
Heelbig in precarious position on bottom here, kind of running out of outs.
Coming up on 10 seconds left in the second period. This match has been a real test of strength. It's from the neutral position that Vigilante's able to do his scoring because he's just so aggressive coming forward, shooting the takedown, and just keeps driving it forward. 6-2 to score in favor of Vigilante after 2 periods at 152 pounds. 28-9 the team score in favor of Southern. Going for the reversal or the takedown, whatever he can get here, is Vigilante. Swings his hips around. He gets 2 right off the bat for the reversal.
8-2 lead now for Vigilante.
And if he can get, I think if he can get a half here, he can force Yulbig over. Yulbig got the wrist. Vigilante concedes the escape. 8-3 the score now. Minute and a half left in this third period at 152 pounds. And there's an aggressive double and 3 points for Attila Vigilante of Southern. Concedes the escape again. Goes right back for the 3-point takedown. No points given. Now they give it. Now they give the 3-point takedown. 14-4, a 10-point lead. Major decision land for Vigilante, and he's trying to turn High Point's Yulbig. .45 seconds to go in the third here at 152 pounds. Southern's Vigilante up 10 points over Jesse Yulbig of High Point. Inside 30 seconds now, still trying to get the turn is Vigilante. I think Yulbig's got to get back to a base here.
20 seconds left, not looking too promising. He would need something special here, potentially dangerous called.
I think at this point it's about minimizing the damage. Keep it to a 4-point. Keep it to a 4-point major and not a 6-point pin.
100%.
Chopping down from the back is Vigilante. 10 seconds to go in regulation at 152 pounds.
It looks like Vigilante's looking to coast as well. He'll take the major decision here.
He's inside 5 seconds. He really just has to move a little bit. And that's the final, 14-4. The major decision for Attila Vigilante and a 32-9 lead for Southern.
The Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Inc., Demolition and Recycling, Harrington Inc. and Sons, Hoffman's Supply, Home and Garden Center. Here we are back with the action at 160 pounds.
This will be tough to call because they're both in the in black singlets. Southern has the gold trim.
I do like this all black singlet. Just the black and white, very generic, but it's working.
That's like when Mike Tyson back in the 80s used to come with the black trunks, no trim, the cut sweatshirt.
Nothing
I'm just going to
special.
I'm coming out. I'm just going to intimidate. I don't need I'm just coming out to take care of business.
I love the Mike Tyson reference there.
Anytime I can get one in, I will. 3 points for Southern on the takedown. There's a lot going on at the tables here, and getting the names is sometimes taking us a little bit of a lag. And a pin.
Apparently Stout from Southern, pins wrestler from High Point.
That was at 49 seconds into the
Winner by fall, for the Marauders.
and a 38-9 lead for the Wildcats. Brings us to 170 pounds.
Here we go with the action. 38-9 lead for Southern over High Point. We are at Mount Olive High School this morning. Beautiful, beautiful cold morning to wake up to some amazing wrestling. Not sure who out there was up for it, but the sunrise this morning was absolutely beautiful. 1:25 to go in this first period.
For West Essex, Ben Marquez. For the Marauders, Tanner Perez.
At 170, we have Jaden Rupal for High Point. Noah Fontana for Southern. Southern in the black with gold trim. High Point in the red. No score so far here in the first period at 170 pounds.
No points just yet. The halfway point has passed of the first period.
Quite a scramble there on the edge of the mat right in front of
No points in that exchange.
the High Point bench. And 3 points to Rupal.
Fontana on bottom, Rupal on top.
Rupal on top in the red for High Point.
Ten seconds now to go in this first period.
Trying hard to wrench him over is Rupal.
That brings the end of the first 3-0 lead for Rupal.
Caution there.
As we said, this part of 6 matches we'll bring you from this quad meet. Escape there makes it a 4-0 lead for Ruppel, who comes in with a high counter to a shot by Fontana.
Now a head snap attempt here from Ruppel. Fontana tried to turn it over there, didn't get it.
Yeah, each going really, really high to start here. Stoppage there for out of bounds. Mount Olive's facing West Essex simultaneously to the match we're bringing you. We'll pause in between and then bring you all 3 contests from each mat, a total of 6, here on GardenStateHSWrestling.com this January Saturday. In the second period, 4-0 the lead for Jaden Ruppel of High Point. He's in the red against Noah Fontana of Southern in the black. Fontana driving this takedown toward us. Still trying to finish it. He hasn't been able to. Got the back, got the 3 points. And cuts that lead to 4-3, coming up on 40 seconds to go in the second period. Stoppage as they are out of bounds. The next match on this mat should be Southern and West Essex. Southern and Mount Olive is the last match on the mat that Don Brower is covering to our left. Mount Olive there with a 30-12 lead over West Essex in the first match. Right here, we have Southern with a 38-9 lead over High Point. And Southern's Noah Fontana on top, chasing Jaden Ruppel of High Point by 1 point, 4-3 at 170 pounds as the second period expires.
4-3 lead for Ruppel. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, Forum Coffee, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live stream coverage.
Trying to take it over this match from the back is Noah Fontana of Southern. His coach really, really yelling encouragement and instructions. Fontana literally looked toward his bench and nodded yes to the instructions, and then we got a stoppage.
Very close there to tying this one up, or taking the lead there, rather.
He trails 4-3. He started on the bottom. Jaden Ruppel with the lead, 4-3. He is in the red for High Point. He's on back, trying to get wrist control from the right side. Now he's alternating, trying to get wrist control or the half Nelson. Trying for the switch is Fontana of Southern in the black. Minute 10 left in regulation here at 170 pounds. Ruppel now trying to turn Fontana as Fontana gets back to a base, gets a stand. He hasn't earned the escape yet. Now the escape at a tie match with 45 seconds to go in regulation, 4-4.
And such a vice grip before there from Ruppel. Fontana thought that his singlet had been ripped, but I guess it was just stretched in a certain way. But that's the type of intent. Oh no, he's bleeding off of his arm there. That's what it was.
That's what he felt. We can see the blood trickling down his arm. Now we've got the blood stoppage.
Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Demolition and Recycling, Harrington Inc. and Sons, Hoffman Supply, Home and Garden Center. Follow us on social media. On Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. On X, GardenStateHSW. And on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Your teams, your counties, your site. Do you own a local business? Become a sponsor. Sponsor opportunities available for team pages and live stream coverage. How do I become a sponsor? Learn more, you ask. Look for the Your Logo Here button on your team's page or email admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com.
I'll tell you who's become a local sponsor. Iron Horse Wrestling, SSD Glass, Frank's Pizza and Wantage, Airport Diner, Estabilt Wrestling Club, the 19th Hole, Ginza Sushi, Pro Automotive, and Market Tavern. They took advantage of it, and now they're bringing you coverage of this match today and all of our wrestling this season. We resume with just under 30 seconds to go, tied at 4 at 170 pounds.
May get our first taste of overtime on the day.
Not if these guys have anything to say about it, Shane. And there's 3 right there for Fontana just before time expires, and a 7-4 win, making the lead 41-9.
What can Rupel do here? Down 3 points, 11 seconds. Needs to burst up right to start. And Fontana will escape here with a win. That last second takedown will win it for him. And Southern gets another one by the skin of their teeth that time. That was such a close matchup.
41-9 the margin now. I lost track of time. I'm looking at 2 different scoreboards. When I look to my right, there's 2 different scoreboards.
Now, and for everyone at home, there's also 2 different scoreboards depending on where the camera is. It's the one in the top right with the HP and the SOU at the top, 41-9. The other mat has team score, but that one's 30-18 at the moment in favor of Mount Olive.
We're on to 182 pounds.
This is a quick pin attempt here from Southern's wrestler.
3-point takedown already.
Both in black singlets, a little bit different for High Point. High Point in the red and black, Southern in the gold and black. This is Hochstrasser from Southern versus Abramo of High Point.
Another, and Hochstrasser just piling on the points here, up 10-1 as we get this set. And again, Hayden Hochstrasser is committed to wrestle at West Point for the United States Military Academy once he graduates high school.
And you only have about 1, 2, maybe 3 of those kids, depending on the size of your graduating class, per graduating class. So that's an incredible honor for him. That's going to be fun to see where his career goes after high school.
I know. I'm planning who am I going to follow in college as we're calling this match. It'll be Hochstrasser on top, Abramo of High Point on bottom. Already a 10-1 lead for Hochstrasser. He's trying to expose the back as we get into the final minute here at 182 pounds. We already know Hochstrasser looks good in black and gold.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm watching you, waiting for you to pick up on the reference.
Took me a second.
Come on, man.
Definitely took me a second. This is a pin attempt from Hochstrasser.
He is just wrenching Abramo over. Really sucking the strength. Another 3 points, 14-1. We're in tech fall danger here as the first period comes to an end. And in 2 minutes, Hayden Hochstrasser compiles. We do get the tech fall. Late back points, and the tech fall 16-1. and a 46-9 lead for Southern as we move to 195 pounds.
Follow us on social media on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on X, GardenStateHSW, and on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. Your teams, your counties, your site, GardenStateHSWrestling.com.
So after this match, which will be won by Southern, they lead 46-9 with 3 matches left. What will essentially happen, High Point's going to go over to the adjacent mat to wrestle Mount Olive. West Essex will come over here to wrestle Southern. And then the final match we'll bring you will be High Point and West Essex from this match. Well, Don Brower covers Southern and Mount Olive on the adjacent mat.
Still a goose egg on the board for both gentlemen here. 0-0, 1:16 left to go in the first of our 195-pound bout.
Kilpatrick for High Point and Foot for Southern.
Kilpatrick a little bit lengthier of a 195er than normal. See if he can use that to his advantage.
No score with 30 seconds left.
42 seconds left.
Stoppage for potential. Yeah, you're correct. Sorry, I looked at the wrong board. Stoppage, 42 seconds left with a potentially dangerous hold. Thank you, Shane.
No, sorry to correct you. It's just you can see it in the background too, so I want everyone watching to know as well.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened more often, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot going on to keep you on your toes. Foot and Kilpatrick here, 19 seconds to go. Just kind of hand fighting, trying to get an advantage in the collar and elbow lockup as we enter the final 10 seconds of the first period at 195 pounds. No score after 1.
You know, you won't hear this praise often, but I've been to a lot of wrestling tournaments. I've seen a lot of kids. The towel guy with the ref
is a great job.
Amazing job. You don't hear it often either, but I've seen him sprint to each one. He's very loud and clear. Great job for him. Just a little shout out you don't hear often.
Foot on the board first for Southern with a 1-point escape.
Very even set matchup here.
Till that, just an overwhelming takedown. That's just step out and overwhelm you by Foot.
I'm just the master of the jinx today. Every time I talk, the opposite happens.
He just came in and just hand fought his way to a takedown. Just that's the wrestling equivalent of when a defensive lineman does the bull rush and just comes in and keeps the feet moving and the hands moving, and there's nothing you can do but back up. You can't get a base. And now he's got the back exposed, does Foot of Southern. Kilpatrick's been able to get back to his stomach, 3 back points, and an 8-1 lead for Foot.
44 seconds ago, they'll be back in the center of the mat. They go off the mat.
We're in the second period at 195 pounds. Again, 46-9, the margin in favor of Southern. So they've already clinched this match in this quad meet.
And, High Point, this is going to be their first loss of the season, 4-0 prior to this in 2024, starting off 2025 on a little bit of a more sour note.
What gets me is that 2 teams have already beaten Southern in duels. How good are they? How good is Pennsauken? How good is PCIT? I mean, Pennsauken, it was a 6-point margin. It was a 12-point margin PCIT.
Those are 3 teams we're going to be seeing all year with A lot of blowout wins, I have a feeling.
And all of Southern's wins have been blowouts. 55-18, 52-16, 66-10. Whereas High Point, they're used to being on top. They won 47-18 over Middletown South, 54-8 over Long Branch, 54-13 over Sparta. You can see that at GardenStateHSWrestling.com. 56-12 over Morris Hills, and here they're on the wrong end of a 46-9 score.
And I think with 3 matches left to not even have 10 points left was not at all what High Point was walking in here and expecting against any of the 14 or the 3 other teams here.
2-point reversal now for Foote makes it a 10-0 lead with just past 30 seconds into the third period at 195 pounds. Foote in the black and gold of Southern. Kilpatrick in the red for High Point.
And this was definitely a more even matchup, but this is where you just see one guy goes a little bit harder than the other. I mean, Foote doing a great job just capitalizing off every mistake and running with it.
Running's the key term in what you just said, because you watch these Southern wrestlers, and when they go for a takedown, when they go in on you, they're moving the feet. It's like when I was a football coach for a long time, you tell guys, keep your feet moving in a tackle or keep your feet moving through a block. These guys keep their feet moving through a takedown, and it makes all the difference. Wrenching Kilpatrick down is Foote of Southern. He already has a 10-point lead. He's got the waist, and I think he's looking to turn Kilpatrick to his back. We're inside the final minute of regulation here at 195 pounds. 10-0 the lead for Foote of Southern. Has waist control. He's down. He keeps moving forward. He's down, but he's using his knees, he's using his feet. He just keeps driving forward.
6 seconds now to go. Foote will indubitably win this one for Southern. And that is a major decision.
10-0, another major. And 50-9. Now the margin in favor of Southern as we move to 215 pounds.
The Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Demolition and Recycling, Harrington Inc. and Sons, and Hoffman Supply Home and Garden Center.
Brings us to 215. High Point into red, trails Southern into black, 50-9.
This is Donald Weiss for High Point, taking on Sean Dupnack for Southern. Was blanking there. We're almost on the last match. Forgot who was wrestling.
How long's it going to take you to pick this up? We're running out of time.
I wanted to say West Essex so bad for some reason.
We're going to be all right because you're going to have Southern again as soon as this is over, because Southern's going to stay here. They'll be on our mat. You'll get to say West Essex because they're going to come over after their match with Mount Olive. High Point will go over and face the Marauders, and that'll be next up on the 2 streams we're bringing you this morning on GardenStateHSWrestling.com.
And you can check out those streams now. If you want to save them, send them out for later. You're more than welcome to. Also, the time expected ETA is 11 a.m. That could be subject to change. Could be a little bit earlier, could be a little bit later. We will see. But make sure to tune into the next match if you're a Southern fan or a West Essex fan. And if you're looking for West Essex Mount Olive, you can find that stream on our YouTube channel right now. It's by Donald Brower and Sean Walker at the moment.
So you're implying we might get a break in between matches?
If we're lucky. I mean, the stream time, the only reason I said that was because the stream time is scheduled for 11. So that's why I just wanted to give people a guesstimate time when the next one's starting up.
Yeah, just keep the window open in the background. You'll hear us when we start again. But each of these is like an individual duel. Essentially, everybody is wrestling 3 dual meets today. No score after 1.
What's that, 42
At
matches in a row?
220.
14 weights?
You make me do math. Yeah, 42 matches in a row.
That's a grueling day, but I'm in for it.
You might call that a WrestleMania.
I like that. This is like long
Somebody
distance
had to
commentating.
do it.
Let's
get it out of the way. Get it out of the way before 11. Get it done before lunchtime, and then we can move on. No score at 220. There's the first scored escape for Weiss of High Point, and a 1-0 lead. Just past 30 seconds into the second period. (15-9) Southern with the team score locked up with this and one more match remaining in this opening contest.
At 215 pounds for West Essex, Danny Haraka.
This has been 3 straight minutes of hand fight so far, despite the reversal in the beginning. Both just seeing who's going to kind of gauge the control of this match.
It really is. You know, the higher they get, I've been using the Greco-Roman comparison. The higher we get in the weight classes, the less you see a shot. It's just all, how am I going to brute force you over from the waist up?
And the ones that do shoot are typically the most successful ones in the weight class.
We had a great match Monday. Don Brower and I were at Watchung Hills, and there was a great match with Jefferson at 215 where there was 9 minutes of action almost. Really good stuff at 215. That's not a bad sign. That's not a good sign when you break and then look to the clock to see how much time is left.
Yeah, hate to see that in any sport really, but definitely happens. You know, I hate to be biased, but especially when it gets a little bit heavier, the more athletic and the more shot attempts, stuff like that, the more fun it is for a match, for me as a fan and a viewer. But now we have a 1-1 stalemate of sorts.
And this has been just basically lockup. It's lockup and an escape each way. It's who's going to make the last. This is going to be who makes the last move.
Winner by Paul Martini for the Marauders.
Not much to call here. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the third period of our 220-pound bout.
I got to think neither of these guys wants overtime either.
I don't think they do. I think that also stays constant the heavier you get. The less overtime is wanted.
Oh, there's a shot. There's a shot by Dupnack.
Might have gone a little high there. Wow, Weiss
trying to climb through it is Weiss, and Weiss may be able to reverse this and turn this into points.
Weiss looks like a mouse.
30 seconds to go in the third period in regulation. Weiss now spinning and trying to drive his legs and hips forward, trying to chop now at Dupnack's legs. We're coming up on 10 seconds to go. We're at a stalemate now on the ground. Lifting up, Weiss is Dupnack. Dupnack trying to finish this. He's inside 3 seconds. I don't know if they're going to finish the move. That's the end of regulation. No scoring there. Tied at 1. We're going to overtime.
First overtime match of the day on our mat at the very least. Mat 1 is done for 51-23 win for the Mount Olive Marauders over West Essex.
West Essex will be up next here against Southern. High Point will be the next opponent for the Marauders. That'll be on the other stream that Don Brower's bringing you.
35 seconds left to go in overtime. Still the same lockup we saw before.
It got exciting when Dupnack tried to shot.
It was a nice build-up.
And there he tries it again. But he's 15 seconds to go. He's got to make something happen here. Weiss is sprawled and trying to turn things. Now Weiss trying to get his hips in position. Looks up at the clock as time expires.
Yeah, Dupnack's kind of like a Pink Floyd song. It's about 6 minutes of build-up, and then finally it explodes into something. And it has to work some of the time.
That is cerebral for before 11 on a Saturday. That's well done. Man, I want to work with you.
I'm warming up now.
All right. Dupnack with control from behind. Trying to get the escape is Weiss, and he does. Inside 10 seconds to go. 2-1 Weiss with the lead. There's the shot by Dupnack. He has inside of 2 seconds to finish this.
Thank you. 2-1 lead for Weiss. Still have the heavyweight match on deck.
One more 30-second period to go. Weiss will start on top with a 2-1 lead. He can't concede the escape. He's got to keep clamped on here, but there's the escape, and we're tied back up. Coming up on 10 seconds to go at 215 pounds. And we're 2-2 at the end of 3 overtimes. Dupnack on top. We're in the 4th overtime now. And the escape.
Might be an ankle injury here for Dupnack of Southern. But Weiss escapes with the win there, 3-2. And we are heading to our heavyweight bout.
50-12, the margin as we go to 285.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, X, GardenStateHSW, and Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. GardenStateHSWrestling.com, your teams, your counties, your site.
The final match of this first duel.
This is Caleb Counts for Southern Regional, taking on Gavin Marisol of High Point.
We're going to injury time.
Harrington Companies, Harrington Recycling Company, Demolition and Recycling, Harrington Inc. & Sons, and Hoffman Supply Home and Garden Center.
In addition to Harrington Companies, today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athletes Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, and Forum Coffee, who with the Harrington Companies are the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
We're back to the action at 285. This has been a roaring start so far. Definitely a lot of action so far in this hand fight at 285.
Trying for the standing double leg was Miracle of High Point. Again, we will have Southern and West Essex next from this mat. High Point and Mount Olive will be next up on the other mat. Don Brower bringing you that stream. And there's a 3-point takedown for Miracle. Swings his hips around. Now he's got leverage. Now he can do something, and he's trying to turn counts.
38 seconds to go. A lot of trouble, 4 counts of Southern.
And a lot of time to make something happen for Miracle. Miracle rolls through it, but 4 back points and a 7-0 lead for Miracle. Miracle with the half again, trying to drive through. Dangerously close to the side. Under 15 seconds to go in the first period at 285. No points on that late exchange, so it's a 7-0 lead for Gavin Miracle. After 1 here at 285, excuse me.
Shot attempt there from Counts.
Trying to get back into it. But Miracle swinging the hips back into Counts. Has the left ankle, and now he's managed to turn it into a 3-point takedown and a 10-0 lead for himself. Working his way back up and trying to work the half. It's in danger is Counts as Miracle continues to wrench the upper body over, trying to torque his shoulder blades down. And there's the pin.
56-12 final. It is Southern over High Point and gives High Point their first loss of the year. Follow us on social media on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on X, GardenStateHSW, and Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Your teams, your counties, your site. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athletes Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Performance Trophies, Forum Coffee, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
15-18, the final here. We're going to step away, and we'll be back shortly with Southern versus West Essex. At the same time, you'll have Mount Olive and High Point for Zach Komar and Tyler Cooper and Shane Dunn. This is John Kovach. Thanks for joining us on GardenStateHSWrestling.com.